like to share with you guys a little story. So I was waiting to get that interview, right? Like where you get a cool job. And boy, let me tell you now. The wait for the interview was slow. It was so slow that even Congress was faster. U.S. Congress, bro. Like, that's saying something. Like, they were slow. And so I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna wait and get something to eat. Because I was starving. I was like starving. And so I went around, like the meeting that we were at was a mall for whatever reason. Why was it a mall? I don't know. CEOs are just like their big fancy smancy, meeting places at the mall of the local area. I don't know. So but anywho, it was at a mall. So naturally that meant there were lots of restaurants. And I was in need of food because if I didn't, I'd probably eat somebody alive. So I looked around. And I saw this place called SUSSY Tacos. And for some reason, their mascot was like an astronaut. And I was like, it was like an astronaut with a sombrero. And I'm like, well, okay. Sus. Why do they spell it? And they didn't spell it sauce, but sus. Interesting play on words. And so I went to this place. And it looked kind of good. It said, but the under like the title, the restaurant, it was like a little subtitle. It says, "Go to this place only if you're a sussy boy." And so I was like, "Sussy? Well, I might not be sussy, but I am saucy." And so I was like, "Sure, let's go to this place." And for some reason, I don't even know why, but most places have a long waiting line. But this place, it was like short. So short that I was really the only person in line. And so I went to this place. And so I went in and I looked at the menu. And I looked at it and I was like, what seems good? So we got tacos, like normal. And we got saucy tacos. And then we got SUSSY tacos. And it had a topping of this thing called hot sauce. And so I sat down and I waited. And I didn't have to wait long. And so the waiter comes up and I get my SUSSY tacos. And so I looked at it. Then the taco was, not gonna lie, like the sauce was really sauce. The hot sauce was blue and weird and just sauce. It really lived up to the title of hot sauce. And so I took a bite, and man, it sure tasted sussy. And so, yeah, it tasted really sussy. It was spicy, and yet it also gave me a brain freeze. I don't know why. It was really sus. Like, it was spicy. My tongue was burning. My heart was burning. I was sweating. And yet, at the same time, I was also freezing. And that's crazy coming from someone, like, the place was literally in LA. So it's probably, you never expect LA to be blizzard hot. In fact, it wasn't. LA was like at the 90s at the time. And, boy, it was insane. Like, I was burning, not just because it was LA, but because the tacos were so spicy. And yet, it was also so cold. It was like I ate the coldest ice cream ever that was at, I don't know, absolute zero. And to think matters couldn't get worse, it did get worse. Much worse. It got way worse. And you're probably thinking, how could it get any worse than this? Well, oh my god, I don't feel so good. I had to go. I think you know where. The place where you gotta go when you gotta go. That's right, I had to go to the bathroom. 'Cause my stomach was super sussy when I ate that sussy taco that had the hot sauce on it. Like, my stomach just was weird. And so I went in the bathroom, and I just thought I could just take a nice little pee-pee. But no! I had to take a big-ass crap. But it was not stopping there. And it was so bad. It was so big. Like, even my crap that came out of the toilet was sussy. It was so sussy. It was like, really sus. I don't even want to get into how sussy it was. So, I sat there, thinking, oh, I was finally free. Nope, I was still panting, and I was still hot, and I was still freezing cold and shivering in my sweat. And even worse, the crap hadn't gone away yet. I still had to take even more big craps. It's finally done. Wait, no! Okay, now I'm done. And then suddenly, for some sussy reason, I felt not sussy anymore. I felt normal. Like almost immediately. The recovery, I'll admit, felt kind of sussy because of how fast it went. But I wasn't complaining, because I was glad. You know why I couldn't afford to waste time in the bathroom? As I said earlier, the whole reason I went to this restaurant, SUSSY Tacos, in the first place, was to idle away my time until I could go to that meeting that I was telling you about. Oh, actually, no, it was an interview. It was a big interview. And so, I thought I was good. So, I got out of the bathroom. Well, actually, no, I didn't get out of the bathroom. First, I wiped my butthole. So, I wiped my butthole, I put the toilet paper in, and I looked at the stain that was on the toilet paper, and let me tell you, it was sussy as hell. But I'm not going to get into that. So, I flushed the toilet. And so I flushed the toilet, and for some reason the toilet also flushed in a sussy way. Like, it didn't just go down a whirlpool. Like, this hatch opened beneath the water, boom, and all the water just ejected out into this dark abyss that nobody knows where it goes. It's kind of sus. Kind of like a garbage chute that you would have in a spaceship, that in which you were trying to find out who an imposter was. Sounds like a cool place you might want to throw someone in. But anyway, so yeah, I left SUSSY Tacos after spending a good long time in the bathroom. And I went to the interview. The interview was, the person interviewing me was a big, major CEO. Like, he was my idol. And I was like, oh my god, this guy's interviewing me, a loser? Okay, so, yeah, the guy was big name. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, my stomach felt sussy again. And I felt sweaty and, like, so hot and sweaty. Not just, like, even more by LA standards. And at the same time, I felt freezing cold. Because, I mean, who would it be? You were literally staring what would either be a merciful God, if you pleased him, or a monster who would kill you if you made the wrong move. Like, he was so intimidating, man, that I felt like I was gonna, crap my pants. So the interviewer goes up to me, and he's like, yo, boy, he was like, yo, boy, and he just asked a bunch of questions like, where'd you go to college, where you go to high school, where you go to middle school, where you go to elementary school, where you go to preschool, where did you go to from the hospital, like, where did you go to school in your past life, like, where did you went to school in the past life before that past life, you know, the normal stuff that they typically ask, like, what did you do during high school, like, did you have any leadership positions, or what did you do in your past life, like, or anything like that, what did you do in the previous life before that, like, it was just the normal interviewing questions. And, like, you know, hobbies, like, what you like to do, what your past life like to do, what's the life before your past life like to do. And so, yeah, it was just that. And it felt smooth. I mean, I felt weird and awkward that entire time. But it went relatively smooth. Despite how smooth it went, I was still, like, tense or whatever. My stomach felt like it was in knots, and I was sweating hot, and yet I was shivering cold at the same time. It was weird. And I thought that was just because of what I felt, emotionally speaking. But I was wrong. I was so wrong. there was something sussy about the way I felt. It felt as though that sussy recovery was more sussy than I thought, because I hadn't recovered. The sussiness within what I felt at the restaurant immediately came back in a way that was so fast and quick that it was sussy. And the interviewer was still asking questions, blabbering, like, why do you want to work here at this corporation? And I'm like, cause I want, oh my God, why do I feel so sick? And he's like, dude, it's okay, you just need to chill, don't be so insecure. If you're insecure, I'm not gonna hire you. And so, I'm just like, come on, say it without looking like an idiot. And then suddenly, oh no! My pants felt crappy. Literally. And then I noticed why my pants felt so crappy that they felt sussy. You know why? 'Cause I crapped them. I crapped in them real hard. It was so mushy and squishy. I was like, ew! So gross, bro. And it was so gross that I felt sick. Not sick in the sense I felt when I crapped my pants, but sick in a different sense, where what I ate didn't want to come out my rear end, but rather from my mouth. In other words, I felt like I wanted to barf. And barf I did. I barfed right into the face of the interviewer, of the guy that was interviewing me. While he was talking to me, his mouth was open, saying a word. It was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And so a large chunk of barf that came from my mouth went into his mouth. And he felt disgusted. And not just that, like, his face was covered in vomit. It was so disgusting. Like, there was so much vomit all over him that there was you honestly couldn't even see his clothes. You couldn't even see his face. You couldn't even see his hair. Like, he came in looking like a professional, like, you know, with the fancy suit, the tuxedo. But all that he came out with instead of a tuxedo was a sussedo. He looked disgusting because of that's how much puke came out of my mouth. Oh no! And so I nervously looked at him and I was like, sorry about that. I kind of ate something bad. I kind of ate something that was sussy. And so the interviewer looked at me. Why did you barf all over my tuxedo? You barfed over it to the point where you made it a sussedo. A sussedo. I can't go around in a sussedo. I need to wear a tuxedo. You ruined it, boy. And so I was like, sorry, can I maybe I can try again. Can I still get the job? And he just looked at me, and he just bluntly said, flat out, no!